What are we doing here? What is our purpose? Where did we come from? And where are we headed? Kabbalists are people just like you and me and everyone else, except they have dedicated their lives to develop a unique desire that we all have within, a desire that exists in every human being, except it's in potential, it's dormant. And if you develop it, then you get to all the findings that the Kabbalists are talking about. And that desire is the desire to discover the meaning and purpose of life itself. Essentially, Kabbalists discovered that everything in existence is somehow, somewhat, in some way that we might see or not see, everything in existence is connected to a single thought or a single program or a single purpose. And they call that the thought of creation. And what they found is that the thought of creation is to create a creation, a created being that will become consciously connected with the force that created it. And achieving this conscious connection with the creative force, with what we call the creator, that is the purpose of making a created being, to develop the creation or the created being into a point where it can consciously be in contact with the force that created it. This thought of creation, this plan, this program, it happens in three distinct states. The first state of creation, which is in our diagram here, right? This first state of creation is a state where the creation, the created being, it's a single creature, a single creation, and it is immersed in wholeness. It is above time, above space, above matter. The second state of creation is where the created being must be separate from the first state, from the connection with the Creator, from the connection with wholeness, with eternity, with perfection. This means the created being now has to exist in a state that is opposite to the first state of creation, a state of separation from wholeness, from eternity, from perfection. And that separation from the first state of creation that happens here in the second state, this complete separation ultimately renders what we experience as the material world. And the third state of creation essentially means that the created being comes back to that complete connection with its creator, a state of complete oneness, just one force that rules everything. And that force, its quality is of bestowal and love beyond anything we can ever imagine. There's actually just one difference between the first state and the third state of creation. They are identical completely. The only difference is the independent consciousness of the created being that evolved by coming from below upwards, by rising from this world back to the state of infinity, as it's called in Kabbalah, En Sof, no end, which means infinity. When we go back to that state, we go back to it with our own will and accord, with our own independent awareness and the proper emotional vessels to experience where we are.